Chelsea-Tottenham is a massive London derby. There have been some excellent games over the years. In the context of Chelsea's situation at the moment, how big is this game, Enzo?
It's a huge game. It's big. We know how important it is for the fans, for the club. But in this moment, it's also important for us to finish, as I said, to try to finish where we are now. That is a huge achievement in this moment for us.
Yes, guys, and welcome back to our match preview after the international break, as we are previewing Chelsea versus Tottenham. That is supposed to actually happen soon. Chelsea face Tottenham Hotspur this today. Actually, this is a preview that should have been there yesterday, but you're going to preview this game, look at the lineup, look at the tactics, and get to understand what Chelsea can actually do to change their fortunes. Now, the Chelsea versus Tottenham game at Stamford Bridge has not been very easy to watch, because it has had a lot of controversies, from the fight between Antonio Conte and Thomas Tuchel to the huge battle of the bridge when Chelsea denied Tottenham the Premier League title by taking points away from them and securing the title for Leicester City. But is this the Chelsea we are going to see, or are we going to see the stale sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards Chelsea that we have seen in the last month or so? Because Chelsea have been plagued by injuries and we have not seen the best of Chelsea. In other words, there are some Chelsea players who have excelled, players like Enzo Fernandez, who excelled quite well in the international break. We saw him creating some lovely passes, and that is the kind of player, the Enzo that we want back into this game. But let's look at the Premier League table before we go into this game. Chelsea are now at 6th position. Newcastle, Manchester City have all bypassed Chelsea. Chelsea, if they lose this game, they are further jeopardizing their opportunity to be in that top 5 slot. A win can see Chelsea back into the top 4 with 52 points and just 5 points behind Nottingham Forest. Maresca talked about how important this London derby is. Remember, one of Chelsea's fiercest rivals is Tottenham Hotspur, even Chelsea seeing how they hate them. So Maresca understands the strength of this game. The last time Chelsea played Spurs, Chelsea won that game 4-3. Chelsea came back from a 2-0 deficit to win that game with 4 goals, with Cole Palmer shining in that game. That is one of the games that we saw Cole Palmer shining a lot. And not only this game, Chelsea have won 12 of their 19 games where they have faced Spurs, and the games they have not won have been draws, with Spurs only winning 1 game during Chelsea's poor season where they finished 12th. But you can see overall, Chelsea have been that team that has beaten Spurs a lot when it comes to facing Tottenham Hotspur at home. Before we even start our analysis, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. In fact, I don't remember the last time Chelsea lost at home to Tottenham. But in football, that thing that you don't always remember can actually happen. Winning this game entails starting with a strong lineup, but I'm going to pick lineup based on what I think Maresca is going to pick. So Maresca is more likely to favor Robert Sanchez, and in my opinion, do I favor Robert Sanchez? No, because he's very clumsy. We are going to face a team that is going to press us intensely, and Robert Sanchez has that bozo moment in him that can actually cost Chelsea the game. Hopefully he plays well. We move on to the centre-back partnership. Colwill and Fofana look to be ready, look to be Maresca's first choice centre-back partnership, and they look to be the players that Maresca is more likely to pick in this scenario. And Maresca is more likely to pick them and try to actually use them in this kind of scenario, because both of them have been Chelsea's centre-backs, and when they played together, Chelsea have actually performed quite well. Fullback position, Reece James and Marco Correa, who are currently our best fullbacks. We saw Reece James excel very well when he played for the English side. And we also saw Thomas Tuchel using Reece James in that inverted fullback role. Maybe. This might also be the position where Enzo Maresca might look to deploy him by leaving Cucurella to play slightly back. Maresca will also prefer a partnership of Enzo and Caicedo in midfield. Lavia is out injured again. And this raises questions about Santos, who's currently performing very well at Strasbourg and is more likely to come in to deputize Caicedo in that midfield, because Lavia cannot be relied upon because of his injury woes and probably might even be loaned out to Strasbourg to recover his fitness. Chelsea might see the return of two key players, Noni Madueke and Cole Palmer, all coming back to the team and looking to revitalize the team. Neto can be deployed down the left, as Chelsea would like to use his space in a more of a position where they can cross the ball and look to bring that threat inside the box by having many balls coming from that position. He's also faster, he's also more hungrier, he also presses more compared to players like Jadon Sancho and Nkunku. And finally, the return of Nicholas Jackson. We need that threat in behind from Jackson. We need that physicality from Jackson. We've really suffered with Nkunku because Nkunku does not offer that, and he's also not quite athletic in the way he's looking to play his football. Hopefully we can have the Jackson that we had in the earlier starts of the season, a Jackson who can step up with goals and try to secure Chelsea that top 4. Now, let's look at the lineups of each team. So, Chelsea more likely to retain the 4-2-3-1 structure, while Spurs looking to have their 4-3-3. Though I have started Pedro Porro at right back. There is an error there I've not rectified. And also, I am not quite certain if Gray will start, as I think James Maddison might also be preferred. And Maddison is a very creative player and a player who can pick those passes and try to unlock Chelsea's defense as well as try to score against Chelsea. Spurs are a very aggressive team, a possession-based team, so this is not going to be an easy walk in the park game for Chelsea. They're going to press Chelsea intensely from the first minute, pushing Chelsea behind, forcing Chelsea into those errors and making sure that they deny Chelsea that space. Spurs might do this by trying to have that midfield overload by picking up Chelsea's pivots while using their front three in a well-coordinated press where they force the ball to be played into one area and immediately look to press aggressively, denying Chelsea that space of playing from the back, especially factoring in Sanchez in goal. Chelsea might try to counter this by having a pseudo back four with Sanchez and Colwill playing as the two unorthodox centre backs, with Fofana moving on to the right back position and Reece James inverting, so that Chelsea can look to create that box midfield and outnumber Spurs in midfield so that they can play through them. In settled possession, Chelsea can move into that 3-5. As Spurs will most likely be having a back four, so Chelsea not need to actually commit more players in attack, having Cucurella attack into that back line and Reece James into that midfield, since Fofana cannot play as that central centre-back position. Now, the main aim of doing this is so that Chelsea are able to maintain their structure, they're able to play through Spurs, they're able to dominate Spurs, and they're also able to create situations where they can create chances against Tottenham Hotspur. Remember, this game is so important for Chelsea. Chelsea need this game in order for them to try and get something out of this match and the 3 points which are very crucial to them. The next one is Chelsea's wide overload, especially down the right. Then the relationship between Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke will also be very important, because this is one of those relationships that helped Cole Palmer thrive. Without the ball, Chelsea can move into a 4-4-2 structure, narrow structure. Those Spurs might try to overload the midfield by inverting both fullbacks high up and having their midfielders deeper. And Chelsea should look to target the spaces vacated by the fullbacks, especially when Spurs have lost the ball. It's the honors of Chelsea to actually win this game, which will bring the fans behind them after the defeat against Arsenal. It's also important for them to ensure they maintain themselves in that top 4 position in the final stretch of the league. Remember, after this, the league will be over. So Chelsea need to win at least 5 games. Better if they win 6 games, they will have secured top 4, looking at that intense run that is between the opponents against them. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section area below. A lot of you are asking me about my prediction. I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for Chelsea. I just can't see how Spurs are going to beat us. Thank you very much. We are back and hopefully we are able to generate more videos for you. Thank you.